Yo, it's DB.
And your girl Serena.
And this is Book Smart, Street Smart.
And today's guest, we are joined by the winner of The Apprentice, co-founder of Oh So Yum, Miss Harpreet Kaur is in the building today.
Special guest in the building. Today, we're talking about starting a business without investment. You can just save up, work hard, and put that money into your own business.
Yeah, that's exactly what Harpreet did. We also talk about confidence, because if you've not seen Harpreet, she is a boss-ass bitch. So we talk about how she got her confidence, how you can be confident, and anyone can do it, right?
That's right. And also relationship advice, talking about running a business and still having a happy relationship with your other partner, your significant
Well,
half.
hold on, let's not miss out with Akshay. Hello,
With
Juicy
Akshay,
Juice.
yes.
We're going to give you all the juice on that.
Yes, from The Apprentice, Mr. Akshay.
We really hope you enjoyed today's podcast, and make sure you share, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, over 80% of you that watch this don't subscribe, so make sure you subscribe. It helps us. It means a lot to us. We love you.
So if I'm being completely honest here, I knew I was going to be on The Apprentice one day. I knew I was going to be Lord Sugar's business partner. We are in Selfridges now. I've launched my online business.
Was there anything between you and Akshay within the house?
Absolutely not rated.
Harpreet, like, what's something about yourself that you're actually not that good at?
I was really shocked actually, watching myself back. And I panicked and I thought everyone's going to think she's this stone cold person.
I'm trying to sympathise with you, I really am. I'm fucking sympathise. Not even for myself.
I'm not in this position because I'm lucky. I'm not in this position because I have a negative mindset. I have ensured that I've got to this position.
So, we got a special guest in the building.
Is that me?
We got the founder of Oh So Yum.
you?
Hold on a minute. I was supposed to do an intro here. You didn't do my intro.
Sorry.
So, we got the founder of Oh So Yum, the winner of The Apprentice, the one, the only, the very special Harpreet Kaur, also known as Harpsicle.
Yeah, Harpreet, welcome. Harpreet's like, where the hell is she landing?
Yeah.
I've not done a podcast like this
Make it
before.
to
I'm scared now.
But
It's
we're
all about the
here.
chill vibes.
Yeah, man. Listen, we are huge fans of you, so it's an honour to have you on our
Thank
podcast.
you.
Honestly.
But I feel like I've watched Apprentice in the past, and we're not going to touch too much on Apprentice because that's old news now. And Also Yum is what we can talk about.
I like that.
But when I've watched Apprentice in the past, I've always felt like the brown people in Apprentice was like the little laughing stock, like the joke that they was chosen just to be an idiot, like you know. And I've always felt like cringe out when I see a brown person. I'm like, oh, here we go, another one. But I haven't watched Apprentice this time. I haven't watched it for the last few years, so it's nothing against you. But I just didn't like where Apprentice was going, so I stopped watching it. But I heard that there was a Punjabi Kuri, Harpreet Kaur, on there. I was like, okay, that's cool. And later on, I heard you won. So finally, we had representation, a brown representation.
And good representation.
Representation that won. And you represent the name Harpreet Kaur, so all the Kaurs around the world can know that we can make it too. We can become entrepreneurs, and we can go all the way to the end and like become Alan Sugar's business partner.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about your journey.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go right into it.
Yeah, because you know what? I used to watch Apprentice all the time. We loved it. In the last few years, I don't watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
So I've never caught up on what's happening. And then I only knew about you because someone sent me your live when you won, and there was a massive Punjabi party.
We was all tuned in, man. I think
Yeah.
every Punjabi in the world, and it was like you're on someone's shoulders, like poof,
Yeah.
poof. Everyone's all the gold thinking, what the hell is going on?
But you
over
know
here?
what's so nice? Because I think you saw that side too, because I'm guessing in The Apprentice, obviously you don't show
Yeah,
your distant
no.
side, but then people saw you win and they thought, oh, uppity up, Punjabi Kuri, and then, you know, everyone gets so happy because it shows that you know your roots as well. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah, I saw you like that. I never saw you on The Apprentice, so I actually don't even know, like, how did Oh So Yum start? Because it was
Let's take it all the way back.
You know, it was turning 6 figures before you even went on to The Apprentice,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
so
knew
you're
that
already
anyway.
smashing. I didn't know this. So take us back. So it's been what, probably 7 years now? Oh So Yum's run for. Okay, so take us back.
Take us back. How did you get to Oh So Yum?
So We've actually been running for 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before that, I was in banking. I was a bank manager, doing the right thing. I'd studied hard, got myself a job. I think I was 23, 24. I've always wanted to set up a little side business. I don't know why. I kind of saw my dad work hard. So we grew up in Birmingham, actually.
Yeah.
Big up. 0121.
I'm a Brummie at heart.
Yeah.
So we moved up to West Yorkshire because my parents wanted a little bit of a better life for us. So they bought a business, typical off license, as you do.
Yeah,
And I just saw my dad work hard and saw that actually working for yourself, you have that more financial freedom, you have that control. So I always like dabbled in a few things. And anyways, I was working for HSBC at the time. I was in a good position. I was managing a branch in Manchester.
Wow.
And me and my sister, we have a like proper sweet tooth. We all do in our family. I think it's an Asian thing.
It's a Punjabi thing as well. Yeah.
And every single day I'd come home from work and we'd have a cup of tea, a slice of cake, even before dinner, which is really, really strange.
Oh, we all do.
love
That's
that shit.
standard though. You have to. Yeah,
Give me one of them. I love that. I'm coming to your house. I want to meet your dad.
So we'd have that first, then we'd have dinner, and then we'd have midday again about an hour later. Like, what's
He's
the
your
dessert?
long lost brother. He is. Let me tell you.
Harp's dad, can you adopt me? All day. I
The
love
amount
this
of
shit.
of sugar he puts in his tea.
It just gets addictive, but it's just so like yummy and tasty. So anyway, I think at the time there are a lot of dessert parlours now, but back then there was only a couple that's like started to pop up.
Yeah.
And me and my sister kind of just cottoned onto it and thought, you know what, should we like give this a little bit of a crack, like set up our own business? And then somehow we managed to get a contact with a shopping centre in Leeds. Honestly, looking back, we were so naive as to what is actually involved with running a business.
Yeah.
You know, we were young and we just thought, okay, if other people can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to that Punjabi warrior mentality of yes, like, I'm not
100%.
going to like, we can do this.
Yeah.
And we got a spot in a shopping centre. So I decided to leave my banking job.
Shit. But that's quite a big jump, right? So if you go back a little bit, like you're how old at this point? 23?
I was 23, 24. Yeah,
so
23.
that's young, right? And then to just go and get a shop in a shopping centre, like that's huge.
So you're 23, 24, you're already managing a bank? Branch?
Yeah, that's
at 23,
sick.
24?
Badass.
Hold on, let's just fucking round of applause for that shit.
That's
Managing a
badass.
branch at 23. So
Yeah,
your mindset's always been on
Always
that from
been,
day
yeah.
dot. Even if you was going to go down that path, you probably would have been like achieving huge success.
Was
in
you
that
head
path.
girl at school?
You know what? I wasn't.
Oh, I felt like you were on that vibe, isn't it?
No, you don't need to be
Because
head girl at school.
I
too.
would have been if I stayed in Birmingham, because in Birmingham everyone's Indian, right? So you fit in if you're Indian. And I went to I was so happy. I got into grammar school, King Edward's, in Soho Road.
Oh yeah. I was gonna go there.
was
That
you?
was the elite grammar school.
The elite grammar school. I was
way.
over the moon.
I could never
had
get into
my-
any grammar schools. They seen me come in and said, fuck that, we ain't having this motherfucker in here. My mum tried so hard, I would just fail all the exams. I was shit at
Well,
it.
I was a really sensible girl. I got myself into grammar schools, and in fact, one of them was Sutton Coldfield, but because there's a grammar school.
That's
Yeah.
where I
That's where
went.
she went.
Yeah.
Oh, did
I'm a
you?
grammar school girl as well.
Love it. So yeah, I got into King Edward's. I was so happy. I had all my Latin books and all these textbooks, and then we moved up. Because obviously my parents had to do that. We needed like a better from where we were living at the time, and I then didn't fit in anymore. And I was actually in a town where I was the odd one out. There were no other Asians whatsoever. From the little area that I'm in West Yorkshire. So my mindset changed a little bit at the time, and I was trying to fit in. And I would say I'm quite naturally very headstrong. I am one of those people that I guess doesn't have to try as hard, which I'm really blessed. Like, I feel like I can study easily, and achieve what I need to. But I guess I didn't play up or anything like that, but I tried to be a little bit of the joker at school.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't a head girl because I thought, I don't want to be the geek or the nerd. I want to be cool because I don't quite fit in. I wasn't very cool. I didn't do a very good job at being very funny or anything. So I just ended up being the weirdo. The weird brown person at school that's kind of funny, kind of not. People weren't laughing with me, they were laughing at me.
Sounds like Serena.
Yeah, that's me. I can relate.
She's there like, oh wow, it's someone else.
But I just didn't fit in. I had a long goth.
You actually had a god?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
right.
did.
You're
I had
looking at the pictures
glasses.
out.
Oh,
Send us
God.
a picture. We
Send
should
us-
insert a little
We'll
clip
insert
here.
it. Honestly,
No
send,
way.
please. Come on, man.
I'll see what I can find.
The fans are asking.
I'll Photoshop
Drop some
them a little
comments
bit.
if you want to see Harps with a goth.
With my goth.
It's a big plait, basically.
It was a really big plot, actually. But I would love that right now. But at the time, you don't appreciate it because I stood out and I didn't feel in a positive way at the time.
You want to be like everyone else because you just don't want to be bullied.
I wanted to cut my hair. I wasn't allowed to. My dad was really strict. So no makeup, glasses, a big goth, baggy sweatshirt, whatever you wear at school.
Monobrow as well.
Obviously, yes.
Every brown girl, man.
Slapping Jolene on every week. So I just stood out, and then I went from there. So I've always been ambitious, always been driven. At times I've kind of pushed it away a little bit to try and fit in a little. But then I think for me, my focus has always been work, always been education. That's something that my parents have really drilled into me, that no matter what you do, fine, but when you're at school, when you're at uni, you've got to stand on your own 2 feet and you've got to get the best grades possible. Not that you need an education or good grades to be successful in life, but the point is, whatever you're doing at that moment in time, give it 110%.
Give it 110.
That's really good advice.
That's good.
Yeah.
And plus, you're being from our background, we need to go above and beyond to get the same roles or to do the same things as people not from our background. You know what I mean? So we always need people always Harpreet Kaur on a CV will look different to just Joe Blogs on a CV. And if you've got more qualifications, you've got more things to come in, and still that person might get the job. So you have to try extra hard. That's what my dad used to always tell me anyway. As being from what we are, we live in what you could potentially say is a white man's country, white man's world. So you need to always work harder being the brown person. But obviously, you're not just a brown person. You're just a female who is fucking empowering other females, and you don't have to be brown to be inspired by you. Yeah. But I feel like brown girls have now got a roadmap to at least some sort of success.
And a role model.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got this shop in the shopping centre, right? And then talk us through that. Like you said, you just didn't prepare yourselves. You didn't know what was going to happen. So talk us through that journey a little bit.
So we thought, okay, brilliant. Let's sell some waffles, sell some ice cream. We're going to be millionaires. This is our route to success, Yeah. It's just not as easy as that. As any business owner will know, it is so tough. And what goes on behind the scenes, you only know when you're in it. And for me, 100%. I'm very much a risk taker. So I very often throw myself in the deep end. I get some kind of kick out of that.
Did you just leave your job like that, or?
Obviously, actually, there's a funny story, and I actually remember distinctively when I had this moment when I realised I'm definitely going to leave my job. So it was very dramatic, Star Plus Desi style. Oh wow! Obviously, yeah.
Your manager's there.
It's so funny because that's genuinely what happened. Was I was driving home from Manchester, and the intention was to do the business as a side hustle, but I wasn't 100% passionate about what I was doing at the time. I gave it my all and I was doing really well. And I do think, if I had stayed in the company, I have no doubt that I could have got very far because I'm that type of person that always wants to level up.
But it's not feeding your soul, was it?
It wasn't giving me that joy.
Yeah.
And I just thought, okay, you know what? And I started to very quickly realise I didn't want a side hustle. I didn't want to earn a bit of extra cash on the side. I want to be a freaking millionaire.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to make some big changes and sacrifices to enable me to do that. And I'm not going to do that by spending an hour every night.
Yeah.
Again, nothing wrong with that. I know so many females or just other business owners that they do have that extra income.
Little side hustle,
Yeah, but I knew that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to go big. So I remember driving home, I was like, that's it. I'm going to quit. So I remember walking in, opening the door to the living room. My sister sat there ready for the cake and coffee that we usually have. My mum sat there. My brother's like, okay, she's acting a bit strange. And I literally had my handbag. I don't know why I did this. And I went, I quit.
No.
What the hell?
I don't know why I did that.
Like a movie scene.
I bet everyone was just like, hi.
My sister, I remember my sister stood up. My mum was like,
you guys like, oh my God, I can imagine.
I don't know why I did that because I'm not a dramatic person at all, I think.
You are, you're Punjabi, man. All Punjabi females. I swear to you, are the most dramatic women in the world.
My food hearts both start cackling when you said that as well. Yeah. Just so dramatic on laughs as well.
They are. We have to have that bit of a masala situation.
Can't be like, I just had to formally hand in one out. You're like, rush into the room. I quit. Fuck all you motherfuckers. Get out of
This
here.
is the thing. I actually properly handed my notice in and followed procedures. But instead of saying, guys, I'm going to hand my notice in, I took my hand back and said, I quit.
I quit. That's nice.
And that was it. It was just a big, this is the thing, right? Everyone thinks, wow, you took such a big risk. But did I? You know, I'm 23. I don't have children to worry about. I'm living with my parents.
And you can get the job back at any time.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't taking a decision.
That's the time
there.
to do it, man.
Exactly.
Sorry to cut you off here, but that's a very valuable point that we have to get across to people. In the 20s, and even into your 30s, that's the time to take the risks, like what you said.
100%.
And yeah, like you said, it's not really a risk, because if you're living at home,
yes.
Well, it was a risk, but it's not you're not putting anyone in danger. You know, like you're not going to lose your house if you do it.
Exactly.
You've
the
still
sooner
got
you do it.
Yeah.
I heard you say something about this on your previous podcast,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
That, everyone has different mindsets.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a 1% for a reason. Sorry to put you off again.
No.
There's a 1% for a reason, which is you're the 1%. I can see that you got the 1% mentality anyway, which is yeah, let's take this risk, let's do it, let's just take action on it, and let's make the sacrifice. And there's a 99% which are like, oh, that's too risky for me. Oh, I've got a mortgage to pay for. I've got all these things to pay. Oh, I've got a life to live. I want to live my life. So they'll work 40, 50 hours for someone else, and then have to spend loads of money on the weekend to forget about all the 40, 50 hours, 60 hours, 70 hours that they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's how they live their life.
Yeah.
Whereas you're living your life. You're
Yeah.
actually doing the things that you want to do and chasing it.
And you just feel so much more content that way, because for me, I always think of, well, what is the alternative?
Yeah.
Let's say I've got this dream. I can sit there and dream about it all day, and then I'll either not achieve it because I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reasons that I've thought of not to do it. And then guess what? When I'm 60 years old and look back, I'm then going to feel jealous of all the youngsters that are doing it. I'm then going to feel annoyed with myself because I should have done it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to come up with lots of reasons to knock other people and say, oh, you should have picked a safe
Exactly.
route.
You don't need to be old to do that. People do that now. Our
Exactly,
age.
yeah,
People
they
say, oh,
do.
Harps, yeah, her dad had money. That's why they started their shop off. Or such and such. Someone could come here and say, Serena, oh, her dad's got money, but she's still got the drive to do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
You've still got the drive. It takes you to do it. So I never knock anybody that's doing their shit, and everyone else should take that same mentality.
That's it. You don't know what someone's been through. You don't know how hard they've worked to get to the position. Maybe
Exactly.
they have, maybe they haven't. Maybe they have got a dad that's got lots of money. I definitely don't.
Yeah.
But just take what you've got in your life and think about what you want to achieve out of it. And people need to realise that it is literally 100% in your control. And it's up to you to get what you want out of life. No one's going to deliver it to you on a plate. So I agree with your statement of, for me, the thing is, in my 20s, and now I'm 31 now, I still probably work just as hard as I used to. But for me, I'm just the type of person that work comes first.
Yeah.
Because guess what? The harder I work, the more money I have, the better lifestyle that I can have on top of that. So
Yeah.
it's just about working hard and playing hard.
And you know what it is?
Finance is, you need, a lot of people say, oh, you need to be happy, you don't need finances, but you need some sort of financial independence. You need to be able to do things. You don't got to worry, oh, I'm going to make the mortgage this month, am I going to pay, we're in a cost of living crisis now, I'm going to be able to afford the energy and all that kind of stuff. You need to get in a place where you're free of that. And it's really, what was you going to say?
That's exactly what I was about to say. A lot of people do say, oh, money isn't everything. It's not everything. There's so much more than money. But trust me, money makes your life so much better.
Easier,
it really does.
Yeah, it does.
It does make it easier.
Gives
so
you
let's
options.
not lie about it.
Do you want to go Barbados or do you want to go?
Do you want to go to Benidorm?
Yeah. No, forget Benidorm. I'm going to go Butlins, man. That's a fucking...
There's nothing wrong with going Butlins.
Nothing's wrong. That's my budget.
Shit.
My budget's Butlins. I'm with you guys. don't
Harpreet's
worry.
lost that sponsorship now. Butlins are going to be like,
I don't mind, really. Can we take it back though? I'm going to take it back to Leeds. What shopping centre did you have? Did you open up in?
It's in White Rose Shopping Centre.
White Rose. So what was your rent on that per year?
Do I have to? I can't disclose that.
Can I just say, okay, let's just give a ballpark figure.
It's 6 figures.
Yeah.
Obviously, most
Wait,
rents are 6
so
figures,
that's
aren't
So
they?
you did you put up 6 months or 3 months? How much did you put up?
Our rent in our first year was £70,000.
Okay, what did you put up as in the deposits and all that and fitting out the shop and all that shit? So
So
let's talk numbers,
in terms of an initial investment, right back then for this first kiosk, I'm
it was
gonna
a
say
kiosk?
it was a kiosk.
So,
yes.
so your kiosk was 70 grand, the ones in the middle, like when you're walking, like there's shops all around you, there's a kiosk.
As an initial investor, the rent was about 70k per year
Per
at the
year,
time. We've then
obviously.
negotiated that down. But to set up just a 5 metre by 2.5 with all the equipment, get the branding done, set up the business at the time. It cost us around 70k.
So how did you
So about
do-
this space here, what we're in now, pretty much.
Yeah,
So how
which
did
is a lot of money. Now, some of it is down to mistakes of doing it the long-winded route and not actually thinking, how can I save money here? Because again, anyone that sets up in business, you are going to make financial mistakes and think, if only I knew this.
100%, man. Even if you know it, you still make the mistakes.
Absolutely.
There's still ways to
You
make
do.
mistakes.
You do. But I think anyone that's wanting to set up a business or any form of anything, whatever you think it's going to cost, times it by 3, and you're probably still just close.
100%.
It just costs so much investment to get anything going.
Where did you get that money from though? Like for people listening right now, right? Like you've left your job and you want to set this up. Like, what's a good way of going about? Like, did you get like investment put into it? Did you have like savings? Like, what did you do?
No, we've never had investment before. So Lord Sugar is the first kind of investment that we've kind of reached out for. Never even entertained investors before.
Wow.
Because again, we are very, we haven't grown up with that kind of
Mindset.
surroundings,
Yeah.
you know. It's very, like, it's been very new to us. So yeah, most of it was just savings that me and my sister had worked hard to save up for.
Is it work hard now? See, it all
Work
pays
hard,
off.
There you go.
yeah.
You get a reason
And then
why to.
there's loads of finance options. So for us in the food industry, there's certain assets that you can get financed. So we had a few bits on that, and other
Yeah.
than that, it was just hard graft.
Damn.
What-
Honestly,
so
respect.
So 70 grand your first year, that's your outgoings at least, you know. So like, how much money did you have once you've spent all that money? So 70 grand, that was your rent, let's just say. I know you negotiated it down, but let's just say that's your rent. And then you spent 70 grand to get set up in the first place. So how much did you have rolling money to go for the next couple of months? Or was you like literally like, oh shit, we've got to start making money now? How was it?
We had 0.
You had 0. So you just like, from this point onwards, like our cost, like how did you get through them 6 months, man? 3, 6 months, 12 months?
Honestly, like obviously I was earning a good salary in my job that I was in before, and so was my sister. And to go from that to absolutely nothing.
0, yeah.
The thing is, I was in a good position where, again, you're young, you don't have those financial dependence or anything, but to go from a salary to absolutely nothing and worrying about using your bank card and if it's going to decline or not, it's really stressful, and it really hurts your like ego and pride a little bit.
Yeah, it
you
does.
know,
Yeah.
because you think you're amazing, like wow, I've got this amazing job.
Get your nails done, get your
Get your nails done, get your hair done.
Yeah.
So having to actually think about those small minor costs that we all take for granted, you know, we took that really big hit, and I think it was a good 12, 18 months before we actually even felt warranted to start paying ourselves at a decent amount. What we needed to do was first make sure all our staff costs were covered, everything else, and we kind of put ourselves last, which I wouldn't actually advise every single time, because something that I realized a little bit later was when me and my sister set it up, we were almost very emotionally involved about our decisions. Oh, it's
Yeah.
okay, like let's pay that, let's do this first. And I think what you have to realize in business is that business is almost a separate entity.
Yeah.
And you have to think about how you're going to make sure that this is financially viable, because if it's not, why on earth are you doing it? You're just literally running around like a headless chicken. And you can really get stuck into that when you're really passionate about something. You've given everything up, you've sacrificed everything, it
Yeah.
has to work. But then you've actually got to think about, well, what is, at the end of the day, like you just said, money makes the world go round. So you need to have some form of financial benefit from this. So I think that actually kicked in a little bit later for me and my sister. And I remember someone asking me once, I think it was one of my cousins, and she said something like, you know, every time, like, I think there was a massive queue, and she said, wow, this is amazing. You know, do you get really happy every time that till goes? And literally in that moment, I realized, no, I don't. I for some strange reason back then, I didn't even think that. I was just so happy that that customer had come to me, they were enjoying the food, and that we'd managed to build this lovely little setup, and people were actually coming like, thanks for choosing us for dessert.
Yeah.
And then it kind of clicked that actually I need to really become a lot more sales focused, because that's where I'm wanting to head, and that's my actual goal out of this. So I think it's really important that whatever you're doing, whether it is a business or in your career or personal, you have to think about the end goal and make sure that everything you're doing aligns with that end goal, because otherwise you're just on this pointless journey.
And detach the emotions from the
Yeah.
from the decisions, because sometimes you're like, X, we need to pay X first because like we've got some sort of relationship with X. But that might not be the best business decision for you to make.
Yeah.
So you might need to like, you know, make installments with X as opposed to just pay them off, because that might tie up your cash flow, stuff like that. So there's all these like business decisions you have to make along the line. But we come from very more simple beginnings where we believe like honor and these kinds of things.
Yes.
But in real business, that shit doesn't exist. It's just literally like, oh, I can't afford to pay you right now. This is what it is. Boom, boom, boom. And that's what big businesses do. They have big bills. They get stuck stiff with big bills. None of these big businesses ever say, okay, I'll just pay that off. They're like, okay, this is what we've got to do with you.
Yeah.
Put you on.
Something that I've learned a lot more in the past few years is just being almost shameless.
Yeah.
So if you want something and you'd prefer it this way, just ask, because guess what? If the person says no, you haven't actually lost anything.
No.
It's just business at the end of the day. So you do have to take your Punjabi ego and pride out of it a little bit and think, you know what? This is what's going to work for us. Can you do it? Rather than, no, we'll pay, or we'll cover it. So it's a different mindset. It takes time to adjust and experience as well.
You know what? Like even just being like that person, I think that's what I struggle with as well. You know, just like being able to just say what you want and just be upfront.
Yeah, Serena struggles with that massively.
I struggled. I find it. I'm like, oh, so would you mind if, like, you know, we can maybe do this? I don't want to come across like a cow.
Yeah.
So I just won't say it straight up, and I feel like I need to.
But that makes you more of a cow. I always say, Serena. So we have these things.
She's not a cow.
No, she's not a cow. No, but when you're not being real. No. Let's be real, man. Like when you're not real with someone, when someone finds out later on that's what you wanted to do, they was like, oh fucking hell, why did she just told me that? Like they always think. Then like everyone prefers the honesty in it.
It's true.
Sometimes when Serena like wants something, and I'm like, yo, make sure this is how you say it. So like, make sure you go to that person and say it this exact way, because I know she'll be like, oh, if you don't mind, kind of, like I was kind of like wondering, like, can you like? So I was like, make sure this is say it exactly like this.
Yeah.
And then like when she says it, she come back to me and she goes, oh, they said yes. I'm like, how did you say it? Did you say it exactly the same way?
It's true though. I've learned. You know, sometimes I feel like, oh, that person's going to react so badly to it.
But they never
and then
do.
I do it the way he says, and I'm like, oh shit, actually, like I got what I wanted. So then I'm learning, but it's a journey for me.
You know what? There's no right or wrong.
No, there isn't.
It just depends exactly what you want, and you just have to be clear about it. You can still do it in a way that is respectful, and actually you are being more, by being more upfront, you are respecting that person even more because you're not messing them around and fluffing around. And that's something, again, that's taken me a lot of time to perfect as well.
100%.
Because I don't think anyone would think that I definitely say what I want, and I usually get it.
And have you always been that way, would you say?
Oh, definitely not.
Okay,
no.
so I need to learn from you then.
Yeah, 100%.
In the past, I have been fluffy, and I've maybe put other people first. And then the problem is you're not being true to yourself. You end up doing things that you don't really want to do. And then you have those additional feelings of anxiousness of, how do I say this? Or I didn't really want to do that and now I have to. And you continuously put yourself out there. But it's just about getting that balance. Sometimes it's just give and take. Sometimes you have to do things that you don't want to do, or ask in a fluffy way because you're a bit nervous. But you just learn as you go on.
Yeah, it is. I think it's just experience and just putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. But what I really want to know as well with your business and what happened, everyone can look at you, right, and see like all the success and everything you've got. Oh, you know, she's in Selfridges now, she's killing it. But I think sometimes what people don't realise is like the hardships that you might have gone through and the real bad moments. So can you think of something like you want to share where you feel like, you know what, that was a proper low point, I wanted to give up, I wanted to pack it all in. Like, tell us a little bit about those stories, because I bet you have them.
Definitely. I mean, everybody has. And for me, I actually find it a little bit difficult because, yes, I have gone on a TV show, but I am so business minded, and this kind of newfound fame and attention is really new for me. And there are so many things that do happen in my life and have happened over the past 12 months, but I haven't shared them. And I don't feel that even right now is the right time to share them, because I'm actually quite a private person, and for me, there's a certain amount that I share on social media, and there's a very large chunk of our lives, as you guys will, that you don't share. And it's not because you're trying to be fake, but we are human beings, and there's a certain amount that we would like to share and certain things that we keep for ourselves. So for me, I found that balance a little bit difficult, and I think over the past 12 months, yes, there has been these amazing opportunities. We are in Selfridges now. I've launched my online business. I've now got 3 stores. I've gone through the whole rebrand. I'm launching like an events range. I'm wanting to do more wholesale, and I've got so many more plans for next year. But all alongside that, there has been so many other things that have cropped up that people don't know about. But I have found it a little bit overwhelming because it's like, how much do you share? How much do you not share? And also, me being completely honest, I do put a lot of pressure on myself, which I don't think is a bad thing, because I wouldn't be sat here today discussing all the amazing things I've achieved if I didn't whack on that full pressure. But along with that pressure does come that feeling of I'm not doing enough. I could do more with my day. I just don't ever seem to finish my to-do list. I feel like I've sacrificed a lot of time with my family and friends. I mean, they always know I've always been work focused anyway, so they know that it's like, okay, if I've got time, I'll, make time for you.
Yeah.
But, there's been some personal things that happen where it's like, I would have loved to dedicate more time to my family. I just physically can't, I can't remember the last time I just sat down and did nothing, or just spent a little bit of time just writing out my goals. I just don't seem to have the time.
Just on the go.
Yeah, there have been moments over the last 6 months, because it has only been 6 or 7 months since I won, where I've just experienced real burnout, and it's like you just lose your motivation.
Yeah.
And you almost question, like, why am I doing this? Like, you see other people doing their job, going out in an evening, settling down for the dinner, cooking a nice meal. I love cooking. I cannot remember the last time I just took the time to cook a really nice meal. And thank God for my mum, and thank God for roti every night.
Honestly, I feel you.
Big up on Digi.
Seriously.
Thank you, Mum, for feeding
the
me.
amount of times I've come back from bookings and Mom's made some like chicken
I know,
and roti.
yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh,
amazing.
thank you.
But like you touched on a point earlier as well, which is about your goals with your business. You touched on a point now where you said you haven't even written goals in this recent times. So like, I know you're saying about burnout and stuff, but what I was going to say is basically, at the start, did you ever think that you'd be able to get to a point now where you are, like, getting all this fame, this media coverage for your actual business? Your business is doing well because of it. You're getting like investment from Alan Sugar and all these kinds of things. Did you ever think, was that part of your goals at the start, or where did you think that you'd be at that point? Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think you'd be here, or did you think have you got even bigger goals that we haven't even discussed yet?
I definitely have bigger goals.
Yeah.
Like, someone asked me a question the other day, actually. It was actually Akshay, and he said to me...
Where you like beat around the bush and you're like, yeah, it was Akshay.
It was Akshay.
We love you, Akshay.
Because he's very similar to me. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We're very, very ambitious, very driven. And if you ask me today, like, how are you feeling? Do you feel successful? My honest answer would be like, yeah, I'm doing all right, but I have got lots more to achieve. That would be my initial thought. To the outside perspective, someone would sit there and think, wow, she's killing it. But he asked me, and he said, if you looked back and you were 6 years old and you looked at yourself today and could see a picture of yourself, everything that you've got, everything you've achieved, what would you think? And I honestly had the biggest grin. I was like, wow, she's like pretty cool. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, she's smashed it.
100%.
Yeah.
But you don't think about that. You don't actually give yourself enough credit.
Not now,
we just naturally don't.
In the moment, you don't. Yeah.
You just don't. So if I was a child looking at myself now and thinking of everything that I've overcome personally and professionally, I would think, brilliant. She's done. She's made it. She's cool. But when the way that I am now, I know I've got so much more that I can achieve. I've got so much more in me. So I can't wait for that, because I'm very into like manifestation and attracting your goals. And
Same for us, yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
So if I'm being completely honest here, I knew I was going to be on The Apprentice one day. I knew I was going to be Lord Sugar's business partner. I knew I would reach a real height of success where I am almost, having to be a role model. I just knew it. You just know it in your gut. And I would definitely implore anyone that's listening, if you've got these desires and dreams inside you, 100%, whatever they
Go
are,
out and do it.
you will get them if you have the right mindset, if you believe, and if you keep up consistent actions towards that goal. I probably wanted to apply for The Apprentice maybe 10 years ago. I didn't at the time, and I'm so glad I didn't, because I wasn't ready. Yeah. It was just a niggle. And since then I've been setting up my business, and it's been an absolute roller coaster. But when the application for The Apprentice came up, I just knew, I was like, this is my year. And when I was going through the application stages, I was choosing my outfits for the boardroom because I was like, I know I'm going to be on it, and I'm getting nervous now because I just know in my gut this is my time, because I had dreamed of it. I knew it.
I love that. You know what? I've got to say I love this because that's similar. Like, I have a similar mindset where I already know what I'm going to get in my life. So, like, if I'm sat in a position in 10 years' time and someone's interviewing me and they're saying, oh, did you ever in your wildest dreams think that you'd get it? And my answer is always going to be like, yeah, because this is what I always knew I was going to get it. I always knew that's what I was going to do. So you're the first person that I've met or that I've spoke to in this environment that has said, yes, I fucking knew I was going to be here.
I'm unapologetic about it.
No, I love it. Even when we first met, I remember in the first few weeks, he was like, yeah, so when we're married. And I was like, whoa, when we're married? I'm like, that escalated.
Get straight to the point,
you know what? I loved it as well because, when we're married, like, it's true. Yeah.
We're getting married.
So nice.
You're marrying me, I'm marrying you. You know it now. Boom.
Yeah.
It's not like if we get married, I'm dilly-dallying around. I'm getting on it.
What you have to do is decide what you want, and then it's, you know what, it's to do with the mindset. You don't have to panic or worry about every single little step to get there. You just have to move in the right direction and have 100% belief that it's almost already happening to you. It's happened. So that way you go about life and present yourself in a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
You believe it already. So guess what? Everyone else is already going to believe it. And if you present yourself with that confidence, he said, I'm going to marry you. And guess what? He's going to marry you.
Put a ring on it.
You know?
It's not on right now because it's in the jewelers. For all you people in the comments saying,
I'm still engaged.
Yeah.
But we are still engaged, don't worry.
But what I would say is, if that dream doesn't come about at that moment in time that you thought it would, that's okay. Don't panic. Maybe there's a different opportunity or door that's going to open for you. And honestly, you will look back and think, thank God, because I wouldn't be here where I am today. So,
there's no timelines, is there? Like, that's a good thing that you mentioned. Because, so you can look at someone, you could be like, Harpreet, she's 31, boom, 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 I'm 41. And like, you know, but there's no timelines because, like, Colonel Sanders, who's the founder of KFC, didn't launch that till like in his like 70s, I think.
Mad,
you know what I mean? So and like that went on to become $1 billion business, but up until his 70s, he failed at everything and been bankrupt and had like multiple divorces and had nothing.
He can reel off so much stuff like that. He just knows all the businesses, who set it
I love
up,
that.
what age.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like failures, like all these little mini failures, or take one step at a time. You'll learn from each thing. Keep moving, like you're saying. As long as you're moving and being consistent and you're just turning up every day, you will get the goals that you think that you will.
I've got goosebumps, man. Like, I feel so inspired from this conversation.
I'm so excited.
I really hope more people listen to stuff like this, man. It's so important because we hold ourselves back so much. Like, always tell ourselves, oh, I couldn't do that. I applied for Junior Apprentice, you know.
Did you?
Yeah. I applied for it. I went through like the first few stages.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I remember
I didn't make it.
I didn't make it. I remember I got, you know what? This is the thing with me. I've always classified myself as a really nervous person. So literally I remember like anything I do, my hands would be sweating, I'd be so nervous. And because of that, I always wrote myself off from doing anything that would put me in a nervous situation because I just told myself, oh, you're not a confident person, so you're not going to be able to do that. And then slowly, I started doing things. And you know, you just learn little by little, oh, actually, I did that. And then the next thing you challenge yourself again and again. And now, you know,
you can be whoever you want to be.
It's true.
You can. And also, I do think life is a lot about perception. So you will have thought, I can't do this. And guess what? Your behaviors and your vibe will have given off exactly the same. So whoever you're presenting yourself to will think, yeah, she can't do it. Because she's literally, with her body language and her vibe, is telling me that she can't. If you turn up and show up and give that eye contact and make that person believe that I'm going to do this, trust me, they're going to be too scared for you to like say no. So
because we communicate 80% by body language. So I can be saying something to you right now and you could be processing it saying whatever you're saying is a lot of bullshit because I can see from your body language or whatever you're doing that you're not telling me the truth. Or you could say, you can go in and you can be like, my name's Serena. Or you can be like, yeah, my name's Serena, or my name's Harpreet, you know, and this is what I'm going to do.
This is why confidence, I don't know the right way to say this, but confidence trumps competence. Sometimes people are in positions or roles and you think, how on earth did they get
100%,
there? Like, I'm way better skilled than that, or I know someone that can do such a better job. but it's to do with the way that you present yourself, the thoughts that you feed your own brain, because that then, you know, displays itself in so many ways. So yes, you might be really competent at what you do, but you've got to make sure that you tell other people about that.
Yeah, man, 100% believe that, because people can, there's confidence tricksters which like they prey on people because they know, because they're so confident in their role, they can make you believe anything that you want to believe.
That's amazing. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah.
You know, that to
Someone
me,
can
that
turn
is
up
so
and pretend that they're police. They can pretend that this, pretend that just be from pure confidence that they can make you believe it, and you'll just believe it. You just do whatever. You give them the money. You sign whatever they want to sign. You can do whatever.
That's such a skill. Like, you know. So
she's always like, fucking hell, I'm researching this shit. how to get Alan Sugar to
give me my
give me more money. Give me my shares. Like,
You know what? I want to know this. So, like, I'm sat here right now and I look at you and I'm like, oh, you know, Harpreet's a power woman. She's a boss girl. But I think what I also want to know is, everyone's got their own like weaknesses, insecurities. Like for you, Harpreet, like what's something about yourself that you're actually not that good at, or something you're insecure about that people won't even know about you?
That's a very good question.
she's like,
Because I'm perfect.
I was gonna say, she's like, oh, I can say my mind. I can see my mind. Like, she's like, you asked me about insecurity. I don't have any insecurities.
Anyway. You know what? I have every insecurity that firstly, as a girl and as a woman, I have every other insecurity. Every insecurity that the average girl does, about their looks, about their appearance, about how you present yourself. But I know when to switch it on, when to switch it off. It's like, right, I'm just going to turn up now, no matter what, whether my hair's out of place, whether my lipstick shade isn't right. So I think as a woman, I still have every hang up as every other girl does. But the difference with me is, I have just learned to accept that is not going to affect, you can't let that affect the way that you live your life, because in the grand scheme of things, no one actually cares. So if you want to just be happy, decide to be happy. Yes, you might not be the tallest, prettiest, whatever it is girl in the world, but it's fine. I'm all right. I'm above average. I'll take that, you know? So you just have to kind of accept that, do you know what? I'm happy with where I'm at, and I'm going to work with what I've got. So everyone has their own insecurities in that way. In the same way that you present yourself, sometimes I think, am I too loud? Am I too abrupt? Something that I have really had to think about over the last 12 months is, and actually watching myself back on TV, I was really shocked actually, like watching myself back. I thought, wow, you come across like really harsh, really direct. And I panicked and I thought, everyone's going to think she's this stone cold like person. But they didn't. Everyone just like thought, okay, great, she's assertive. But I think at times, sometimes I think, am I like too much? Do I need to soften up a little bit? But it's tricky because we all have natural personalities.
Yeah.
I can't.
Me and Serena have this conversation all the time.
All the time. Like he is like very direct, abrupt, and I'm like, you know, I don't like to be like that. I'm conscious of the way people feel. And like, I'm always like, oh, why can't you understand that?
No, but there's nothing wrong with that, because guess what? She'll soften you up. So when you're maybe being direct and abrupt, she'll probably say, look, let's just mellow out a little bit.
So you can't say this, can't say that. Oh, you can.
You can.
He has 100% soft. I always say to him, I'm like, how are you the person you are today?
She softened me up and I've hardened her
he's
up.
hardened
So we come in the middle. But we can do a good cop, bad cop routine as well. That works.
Exactly.
So she's like, she'll be all nice and I'm like, boom, I'll be straight in.
Yeah. If we were all the same, the world would be a very boring place.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
and we'd all just like clash because for whatever reason. So.
But the first day I ever met you, by the way, you came. I thought, wow, I felt so inspired. I felt like your energy was. I believe in energies, you see.
Same.
But energies can't be faked. I can talk shit to you, and you can be like, oh, I know you're talking shit, but I can't fake my energy to you.
Yeah.
So my energy
Exactly.
will be real. Your energy will be real. We can all feel each other's energies, but sometimes we suppress our instinct, like gut instinct on someone, because we want to get somewhere. You want to know that person. You think, oh, that person will help me get here. But your gut instincts tell you. If you all listen to your energies, to your gut instincts, you get further in life. And when I met you, I felt this massive energy. I was like, whoa.
The funniest thing I have to tell you, so we met you firstly, it was at Anshul. Big up Anshul.
Yes.
We met you at Anshul's event, and it was so funny because afterwards he was like, did you see the way Harpreet walked in? She just walked through that room and she grabbed the attention of everybody. Even though they were all looking at something else, she just walked in and she just has that boss presence. He literally said that about you.
You just walked in, everyone's
I
like,
need to be like Harpreet. I was like, it's true, I need to be like Harpreet.
She just walked in, she's like,
hello, peasants. No, I'm joking.
No.
Not at all. She doesn't be like that.
No, but I mean, like, you just
She
you
carries
command
herself.
the room.
That's exactly
That's
the
cool,
word.
man. Like, you gotta be like, some people can just go in and command the room.
Yeah.
And some people just can't, and that's like, yeah, we could say you can naturally have things within you which can make you do that, which you have.
Yeah.
And some people, it can be learnt as well, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You can train yourself to get to that, but some people just naturally have it. And the energy is something that everyone needs to work upon to like always project to get the best energies you can in it.
I agree. I'm definitely into energies. First vibe when I met you was like, oh, he's so friendly and welcoming. And I also thought, he's a joker. He's going to get cheeky. But with yourself, definitely. I mean, you are drop dead gorgeous.
Oh, thank
and you clearly are a very loving personality. Honestly, you can just tell immediately. And I've always said that to you ever since we started speaking. But I think it's just about confidence. At the end of the day, my natural kind of calling in life is a leader. You know, that's what I'm good at. I like leading. So for me, yes, I do naturally command that presence because that's just my natural personality. But we don't all have to be like that. It's just about being confident in what is your message, what is your purpose? Are you the giggly cute person? Are you the leader? And whatever it is, you know, turn up in that format, you know, absolutely own it. So it's just about being confident, being happy and content with who you are and not actually thinking, you know, so many people think, oh, I want to be more like that person. And actually, no. Take inspiration of the parts of that person that you want to incorporate.
Exactly
into
that,
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
Well, I need to say, so me and Dee have been really hot on like a morning routine, right?
Yeah.
So like everyone knows now, like Dee does this thing on his stories. Every morning it's like cold shower, black coffee, and he's got me on that as well. And I always love to know like who I deem successful, right? So I deem you successful. I always like to know like successful people's like routine.
Yeah.
Like, do you have, you know, a set routine in place? Like what's a day in the life of Harpreet like?
Firstly, I'm exhausted constantly, so I'm just operating like a zombie. I would say right now my routine is out of the window.
Okay.
I found that I'm really excited to get back to the best version of myself because me being honest, I don't think I'm at that right now. I think it's just been really overwhelming, trying to juggle lots of different voices, opportunities, picking the right ones. It's been a complete change in lifestyle, you know, going from just owning a couple of dessert shops to being on this platform, being a role model, inspiring others. People are waiting on you to see what you're doing next, being that Asian representative and being in the mainstream media. You know, it's just been a big change. And I have been having lots of...
We could say it's first world problems. We could say, like, you know...
Very first world problems.
Yeah, like
absolutely.
That's everything you just said there, that's really good problems to have.
Yeah.
Like, there's not one...
Exactly.
And sometimes we forget that I do that all the time. I'm driving, I'm like, oh, I don't
So
want to go to
busy.
this event. I'm so tired.
I'm so this
And then I
that.
think to myself, what the hell? It's an honor to be
I'm really trying to
invested,
sympathise with you. I'm really am. I'm trying
No,
to sympathise
don't.
with you.
You don't sympathise with me either.
I don't fucking sympathise.
Please don't.
Not even for myself.
Yeah.
Because when I have them thoughts, I'm like, there's times when I was fucking dreaming for this shit, man.
I've dreamt everything I've got right now.
I'm dreaming
is
for it.
everything I dreamed of.
Everything you dreamed of. But when you get there, it's not always 100% of the time. When you get to where you've dreamed of getting to, it's never what you wanted it to be. So fall in love with the journey more than the destination.
100%.
Because if you think about this destination you want to be at, you'll get there. Because if you just work towards it, you'll get there. But then it won't be everything that you cut out to be. Because you'll be like, what? Just fall in love with the journey and just keep going on this journey and just never stop. Don't make a destination so much. Just keep going.
Keep going, enjoy it, because as human beings, we naturally want more. That's just the way we're built. You want the next destination, I want bigger, I want more. And like that's like with people with money, they still want the bigger house that their neighbours have got, or they want the next car. We're never ever just content. So again, being content is a choice, and something that I practice in let's say my ideal routine, what I used to really kind of adhere to. I'd get up, get my alarm on.
Are you an early riser?
I wouldn't say too early.
Okay.
Like if it was my ideal routine, you know, 8 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, not too early.
Yeah.
Because for me, my business is a very late night one.
Well, then that makes sense.
So our staff and teams and stores don't close till 11:30. So back in the day when I used to be, you know, physically at the store every night, I didn't get to sleep till 2 a.m.
Oh, wow.
So you're constantly wired, and then in the daytime, that's when your emails are going off, your phone's going off, so you're doing all that, and then you go to the shop. But I'm in the luxurious position now where, you know, the teams do run the stores, but you're still working till midnight because you're on your phone, you're keeping an eye on the team, you're keeping an eye on the cameras, what's going on with the sales. So you're wired till very, very late. So don't pressure myself to wake up at 6 a.m.
that would be ridiculous.
Because I just can't physically function that way. So ideal routine for me, which I have practiced many times, is I have a very nice wake up alarm. You know, the ones that wake you up at the right sleep pattern routine thing.
Really? You got one of those?
Yeah.
So like in your 8 hours?
Monitors your sleep. Yeah, it does.
And it gives you like a nice little zoom, zoom, zoom.
Nice zoom zoom makeup.
Yeah.
And then the first thing I do is I'll go in the bathroom, I'll start my lovely skincare routine, and I put on morning affirmations. So there's loads on YouTube.
That's me.
Yeah.
And at different points in my life, those affirmation videos will change. But it will just be affirming things that I want to be. I want to be strong. I want to be successful. I want to be powerful. But you don't say I want to be, you say I am. So that you are encompassing those qualities now.
Yeah.
And you look in the mirror and like, yeah, I'm strong. Yes, I'm powerful. And there's
Do you
loads of
make
these videos. Yeah. While I'm brushing my
I'm a
teeth.
boss ass bitch.
I can imagine, you know.
I'm going to have the most
Amazon.
beautiful day. And I like to practice a lot of gratitude. And I usually do that on a nighttime actually. But if I can in the morning, first thing I'll think of when I wake up is, you know what, thank you. I have 2 hands, I've like my legs, I'm going to like
Be
touch
grateful,
around.
basically.
Honestly, gratitude is something I practice
Massive.
every single day. I'm so grateful because like you just said, first world problems.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah.
But guess what? I'm healthy. I've got a gorgeous roof over my bed. I have over my
Your
bed.
bed. Well, I hope you have. I hope you fucking have. It'd be a bit weird if you haven't. Especially in West Yorkshire, bare rain.
Some manja out on the rooftop.
I have a bed instead
How
of a
many
manja.
brownies have we sold today? Vajani. Fucking buy some more brownies, man. Get her a roof. Man.
Luckily, I have the roof. You know, I have a beautiful support system. I'm so grateful for my family. We're all very loving. We all support each other. And guess what? I am in a position where I get to choose what I do with my time. And you know, I go on lovely holidays. I treat myself. So I have nothing to complain about. Like, genuinely, absolutely nothing. There's nothing that I want that I either don't have already or couldn't easily get if I put my mind to it. So gratitude is an absolute must. So yeah, I put my affirmations on. I put a little bit of incense, thoof on, and put the kettle on and start my day.
Yeah. And
Love it.
like, how long would you ideally want to wait until you go on your phone?
On my phone, that's something I need to get
Yeah,
better at. But yeah, when I'm in my ideal routine, I don't check my messages and things immediately. I will text my mum and say good morning on our little group chat with my mum, my sister, and my niece.
You sound like one of them little like Indian ones that the flower runs. Good morning.
We don't go that
On
far.
WhatsApp.
It's just a morning with a little
Little
heart.
flower, like good morning comes. Like, okay.
And my mum will message. She always has a message. Like a really like nice gratitude message, like, you know, I'm so proud of my girls, we're gonna have a blessed day, we have a beautiful life.
What, every morning she sends
Yeah,
that?
she does. Well, she's
is
fallen off the bandwagon a
Harpreet.
little bit. We all have.
Listen, I want to be. Your dad eats bear cakes 3-4 times a day. Your mum gives all these affirmations and stuff and motivations. Please, auntie, uncle, if you got one spare space, you know, I'd
You've
love to
got
be
a
adopted.
lovely family,
No,
shut
okay,
up.
I've
If
got a
we're
lovely-
gonna
I've got a
adopt
lovely
anyone,
mum.
I'm
But
sorry,
my
it
mum
would be
never fucking do
Serena.
that.
It would be Serena if we're gonna do it.
No, tell you what, really? Oh man.
What's that?
She doesn't want to adopt me.
Oh yay! I'll come. I'll love it. I'll
That's
eat that
okay.
with my brownies. Like,
To be fair, I had one message recently when mum said that just randomly out the blue.
oh,
What did
that's
she say?
nice.
About like what you just said, about I'm very proud of you, blah blah blah.
That's so nice.
Or I'm appreciative of you, or something like that.
Oh, see.
Very rare.
Do you know what? I think Indian Asian parents
Don't
find
do
it a
it.
bit more difficult
They
to
don't do
say
it.
because
Yeah.
we don't have that communication.
Yeah.
Like, my mum was born here, my dad was obviously born in Punjab, but they don't communicate in the way that maybe other cultures do.
No, really.
And they find it a bit more difficult to say, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
And my dad's only recently started saying it, obviously because I've gone and won investment
Yeah,
from
yeah.
like, you know.
Like, you did a great job.
Finally,
Bella.
I've got a pat on the back. I think they find it more difficult to have that communication. As with other subjects, we just
Yeah.
don't talk about it as much.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm sure they're very, very. It's not just this one time that she's been proud of you. I promise.
Yeah, loads of times. Oh
No,
my
they
god,
just say-
anyone could say anything to his mom and she'd just start welling up. Like, they could be like, oh, you know, David's done da 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 da, and she'll literally just start like welling up and being so like.
But
proud.
she'll never say. She'll never say.
Yeah, yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
that's just how it
That's
is.
not a bad thing.
What's that?
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing, you
What's
know.
that? Not
that
saying
she
it.
doesn't say she's.
No,
proud
there's a
of you
reason
all
why
the
she doesn't
time.
say it. She says it. She told me. Or told Serena,
Yeah,
someone.
she told me.
Is she never wanted us to ever like have big egos or let it get to our head. She always wanted us to be like, okay, then what's next? Or you know,
Yeah.
okay, then that's not good enough. Or okay, then let's go more. Like that's your goal is to be up here. Don't get here and
Don't be content.
Don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot of things, like a lot of influencers I see, a lot of people in these positions that we are in. Well, you guys, not so much me, but like big followings. You put a photo up and people can be like, "Oh, we love your outfit, we love your hair, we love your this."
Doesn't mean anything.
And someone comes and says, "Oh, you look ugly," you know, or "Boom, your hair looks shit," or something like that. And you'll pay attention to that. It's because you pay attention to all the other comments that are nice as well. Don't pay attention to the nice ones. Don't pay attention to the good ones. Don't pay attention to any of it. Don't get high on your own supply.
No.
So when someone says the bad stuff, it doesn't affect you because the good stuff doesn't affect you. You put the photo up, and it's up. If people like it, if they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. It's you're happy in yourself.
Yeah.
I love that you said that. It's all about being content and happy in the real world.
Yeah.
Be content with what you're doing. Make sure you're doing your best, 110%.
Yeah.
And then whatever you put outside in the outside world, it's up to them if they accept it or not. You're not bothered.
You put it out. You don't care. Don't look in the comments, but don't let it affect you.
100%.
See what people are saying, just so you like. If you're putting a piece of content out that isn't about like what you look like, so someone's fucking. You know, so people are like proper like going about your looks. Don't look at them ones. But if you put a piece of content out that you want to see how people are engaging to it, look in the comments and then see how they're engaging to it, and then use that as learning.
Decide to fuel it for more.
But not in an emotional way at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
I think I don't post as much content as I could because again for me I'm so like validated that I'm moving in the right direction that I don't need to constantly put it on
also,
display.
you're a busy flipping working businesswoman. Do you
No,
know
but
what I mean?
I'm going to come back to this point because God puts people in positions of power in life, and He's put you in a position of power. Like you've won the Apprentice, like you've done all these things. So it's almost, I don't mean to like tell you what to do, but it's almost within you're almost responsible to keep this. What was it? How would you say it?
Keep responsibility.
Yeah, so you're responsible to show people the path, basically. So I think you should put out content. If I'm honest, you should curate content, even have a team, and invest money into it. Even if you haven't like figure out a way how to do it. I can't tell you how to spend your money, but whatever. But I'm just saying. You're in a position of power, you're in a position of responsibility, and God's put you in that position, and He wants you to be a spokesperson. I think that, and you've got the right energy for it.
Oh, it's true.
I think you should. You've got a responsibility to say, yo, this is what I want to be. This is what I
well,
want
even
to
now, like I don't want to finish this podcast. I just want to talk to you and hear more from you. So
Yeah, yeah.
I want more from you. Like I want to know.
We could
what
do a part
you think
two. We could go
about
forever.
this.
What time is it?
It's
That's what I'm
true.
saying.
I want
Like,
to
you-
know
I
more
think,
from you.
People like men, women, everybody. Like I could talk as a man. I would learn from you.
Yeah.
You know what's been really nice is obviously my main priority right now at this moment in time is making sure that my business is that successful that I return that investment to Lord Sugar and that I set out on my absolute mission to make Oh So Yum absolutely smash every goal. Alongside that, you're absolutely right. I found this platform where people are like seeing me as a responsible person. You know, I'm getting messages from saying my kids absolutely love you, or I have messages from like 50-year-old middle-aged white male saying, Harpreet, I found your podcast that you did so inspiring. I'm like, what? Like, wow, that's amazing. I'll be honest, I do feel that I have a lot to give and a lot to say because for me, I love people achieving their goals. And I know that I have worked really hard on myself, invested time in myself, and that's what's made the difference. I'm not in this position because I'm lucky. I'm not in this position because I have a negative mindset. I have ensured that I've got to this position by practicing certain things in my life. And obviously I had the podcast that I put out there with Akshay on Scale Up, which hopefully going forward, I will put more business content out there because if I can help other people be confident or give them that one little nugget to give them that confidence to go for an opportunity in their career or business, I would love to do that all day long. So I think with Scale Up, hopefully we'll be putting more content out there.
Is this what it's called? This is a new podcast that's out right now, right?
So Scale Up is already out there with Akshay.
It's not out yet.
You've got a couple's podcast.
It's already out there.
Yeah, they put it out. So it's it's okay. We can say it. So basically, this podcast is being recorded before your podcast is going to come out. But by the time this comes out, people would have been able to go and see it.
Yeah, there's not that much business. It's an introduction. So basically, if I'm going to put business content out there in the future, it's going to be on Scale Up.
Okay.
Does that make
Can
sense?
I just say, me and Serena put photos out there and like put ourselves out there in our relationship on Instagram. Hobbs and Akshay put a photo out there and go out on Instagram. Me and Serena do a podcast together, more inspirational business podcast. Harps and Akshay do a thing. Okay, so is there anything else that you is there a ring on the way? What's going on?
There's a ring on the way. Come on, Akshay.
Come on, Akshay, get your act together, mate.
Do you know
Jeez
what?
Louise.
If he didn't have pressure before, God, does he have pressure?
I
The
can
number one
imagine.
question is, are you going to put a ring on it?
I'm just saying, Akshay, you know what I mean?
You'll have to ask him.
Show me your left hand. Looks awfully empty. But I'm just saying.
It's very true. Every time you guys put something out, I'm like, oh my God, we're literally about to do that.
There's never enough. There's never enough content, man. There's podcasts. I think the audio platform in general is the most growing platform in the world right now. So I think what you're doing is amazing, and we're here to support it, man.
100%. This is what we need to see, because both of you were on The Apprentice, so people already have seen that snippet. So people just want more. So you're giving them more. So this is good.
Yeah. I think for us, obviously, we needed to answer a few questions because everyone's desperate to know, how did it happen? So if everyone goes over to Scale Up, they can see that little bit of interaction between the two of us. But we're both very business minded. We both run our own businesses. And I think for us, any content that we put out there has to be true to our message, which is about achieving your goals, or all to do with business, really. So I think as time goes on, hopefully we can shape more content around that, and we have the platform to do it.
And it's your own platform,
why
you own
not?
the platform.
Absolutely.
So it's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
And talking of, I know we touched on this before, and I really wanted to find out on the podcast if people can hear. So you recorded your first podcast with Akshay on Monday, wasn't it?
I don't even know what day it is today.
I know, I've lost
it was
count
Monday,
as well.
yeah.
And you said to me, you were like, oh, it's a lot harder than you think. And so I want to ask you, right, how was recording it?
Me and her.
Only people can
Because
see
I know
behind the
you.
scenes.
So I don't know you, but from what I know of you, I know you don't take no shit. So I know there's going to be
Clashes
because me and her clash.
I didn't bully her.
Huh?
No.
Oh, he does.
She bullies me. She's like,
Actually,
no, every time we edit the podcast, she's like, oh, you're so mean. Oh, you're so this. Oh, you're so that. Oh, you're so... She never sends me anything nice about my thing. I'm like, okay, I'm a piece of shit.
You interrupted me there.
No,
I don't.
22 minutes, 31 seconds. You did this. I'm like, okay, cool. And
You
they
know
go,
what?
sorry.
It's tricky.
You know
It's
what?
hard,
These
man.
podcasts
It
are
is.
really bad because you look back and you're like, why did you say that for? And
Yeah.
you stop.
No, but it's really good. It's testing, man. It's really good test of relationship.
It was testing. No, it wasn't. You know what's really great about mine and Akshay's relationship is we are both very, very similar. So we are both very driven. We know exactly what we want.
Yeah.
We're very outspoken, and neither of us back down, right?
Okay.
But we also
Sounds like a
have that-
recipe for disaster. Let me just get my tea. I'll just watch your podcast.
You know what? It took us a little bit of extra time
No,
that
just
I
take
would have
time, man.
expected to, because it was our first time.
Yeah, of
But also, I think what's great about us too is we understand one each other. Can't speak properly, sorry.
Yeah.
We understand each other.
Yeah.
So we both know that about each other's personalities. So sometimes one person has to back down and take the back seat. So for example, with the platform of Scale Up and his podcast, it is his podcast. It's his style. So I'm only joining that. So I'm going to give my input. I'm going to say what I think. But in that situation, cool, yours overrules because you've taken the lead with it. And with the edit, you take the lead with it. And sometimes you have to make that decision and say, do you know what? If I was going to do it, I will probably do X, Y, Z. But we both cannot be in control, full control. So you kind of have to decide which person in every single situation, who's going to take the lead on this one. And you have to think, okay, cool, I'm quite happy with that. Because otherwise, if you're both in full control all the time, no two people would ever go about something the exact
Same way, yeah.
But yeah, it was very interesting for me to film that with him.
Interesting. Girls, have you noticed language girls use with women? It's very it's very interesting. And they're like, fucking hell, that was a lot of shit. It was an interesting experience, yeah.
We needed a minute.
Like you said, it's just repetitions. When you go to the gym, you're not going to grow muscle overnight. It's repetitions, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So same with this, it's repetitions, and you'll get to a point where it just flows. You see all these people who are duos. They haven't got to being like a duo act. Overnight, they roll off each other. They know what the next one's going to say, and blah blah blah. All the questions and
You learn
all
to
these
work
things.
together,
You
don't
learn
you?
to work together,
Yeah,
and they've got
do.
to where they get to. It does
Absolutely.
work out in the end. But it's just repetitions. Just keep turning
100%. You
up.
just get better and better as
Yeah.
time goes on, and it's just about being understanding, being very patient.
Patient, yeah.
And
need to work on
sometimes you don't always.
He's got
I need to work on
zero
that.
patience.
I'm impatient.
I need
I'm
to
really
work on
impatient.
patience.
If
He's
I'm
actually
impatient,
quite
actually
patient.
very impatient.
Oh, is it
Oh,
both
really?
of
At
you?
least Serena's got patience.
Yeah.
In this
But
regard.
the funny, no, he's very patient with me.
Yeah.
I'll correct myself.
That's
He's
nice.
very patient with me, and I think I'm patient with him. I hope he
Yeah.
would say that. But in general, we both want something and we want it now. We want the
Yeah.
results now.
That's good.
But we're very understanding of one each other. We completely respect each other, and I think sometimes you don't always have to be the person with the last word or the person that's right. It's all cool. It's all going to be good.
That's what we're learning.
Nothing. It doesn't
I
have
like
to be
that.
perfect. So.
Yeah. You know what though? Like this is it's important to put this out there. Like relationships are work, and like that's what I actually enjoy about doing the podcast together. Because even though it's flipping hard, like so we started our podcast both separately, and then Dee kept saying, you know, let's do it together. We should do this together. And I was like, oh, it took me convincing because I always like being in charge of my own decisions.
Yeah.
So for me to have to then like share that, I'm like, oh, like I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that we do this now because I feel like it's added a complete different dynamic to our
Perspectives,
relationship.
two perspectives.
Yeah.
And we're learning more about each other. I'm learning, you know what, like I can just chill out a little bit and just listen, even though it's so annoying. Like I have to just listen because I know like he's got some really good ideas and stuff.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Serena's really good at like organisation. She's good at like, she's on radio, so she's got radio training. She's really good at like flowing a conversation with you, with guests. So she's got loads of good points. I've got loads of good points, and we,
To work
together we need to work
Yeah.
out the exact thing. Same with you, and actually.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice though because like for me work is everything. I absolutely love working. I don't do it because I have to. I just don't know what else do you do with your time. I really enjoy
People
it.
have fun.
Hobbies.
Go out and get waffles. That's what I do.
He's the same, and obviously you two are both very like into your work and very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
So the majority of your time is spent in work zone.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to actually understand the person in that professional environment as well, because that's where their head is most of the time.
Yeah.
So you get to learn different things about each other.
How do you find like, so obviously, how long have you actually been together for now?
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm going to ask some questions,
Go
man.
on.
Because what goes on in the fucking Apprentice house? Like, is it like a madness? Everyone's in each other's rooms, or no? Is it literally? No, I want to.
do you think the
No.
program is?
Okay, so imagine like like the Olympics, them sort of places. They're all mad. Like everyone just like gets with everybody.
Oh,
like
the athletes,
So
yeah.
is it like that
Oh
in the
my God,
Apprentice?
no.
And like it isn't.
No.
You sure?
If it was, I'm that focused that.
Harpreet was there with her blindfold on.
So
Yeah.
Trying to get
was
you
there
out of
anything
the-
between you and Akshay within the house times?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
So
Do you
you
think he
never-
was a little bit hot? He's a little...
This is released on the scale up, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, we'll
So
have
you
to
should
go
al-
over
you
there.
would already know
Okay.
that.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about it.
Okay.
Go over to the
and
Scale
go and
Up
listen to the
podcast
scale up to find
if you
out
wanna know
exactly the
about that.
deets. But what I wanted to ask you is, so I don't know how many months you guys have been together, but have you got any like real good relationship advice? Like, what do you think, you know, is important in a relationship to you?
It's a very good question.
Sid Aldridge got good questions.
Yeah, it is. I need a second. I need a minute to think about yours. Relationship advice. You know what? I would say in our culture, you are often very pressured to find someone and settle down at a very young age compared to the typical, you know. I would say, honestly, if you are in your 20s, please take the time to focus on yourself. Focus on what makes you happy. For me, it's work. It might not be that for you. You might want to go travel the world. You might want to work on a passion. Whatever it is, please invest that time in yourself and become happy within yourself and be the best version you can, because happiness doesn't rely fully on a relationship. It really doesn't. And I think in our culture, you can be very pressured to find someone quickly, not giving yourself time or experience to learn what you do actually want.
Yeah.
You don't have time to think about what you do want or don't want because you're that fixated on finding anyone that ticks certain boxes. Please don't put that pressure on yourself, or don't allow, everyone's situation is different, but please don't allow society or family or friends to put that pressure on you as an individual. Do what's right for you, and honestly, just wait, be patient, because the right person will come along when the time is right, and it will come when you are that content with yourself that you're like, you just know in your heart, like, this is the right decision, because they're matching the exact person that I want to be. So please don't focus on a relationship or finding someone. Focus on yourself, and when you can look in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm a good catch, then you need to think about, okay, let me find someone that is actually suited to me,
Yeah.
because no one's perfect, and you need to find someone that is suited to your desired lifestyle or what goals you want to achieve, because your goals at 20 years old are very different to your goals at 30. So just go and live life, don't worry about it, and if you find someone that can grow on that journey with you, amazing.
That's
but
the
if
thing,
you don't,
yeah.
it's okay, it's
There's
fine.
no timelines, is there? There's no
No.
time. But like you said, 20 and 30, that's just numbers you're throwing out there. Because I know 30-year-olds who still aren't ready for marriage.
You
Oh
know,
my god,
Yeah.
especially
There's
brown
never-
one day.
No.
Sorry, not you.
And girls.
Yeah, and
And
girls.
girls,
But let's be
Some
honest.
girls like just get married at 30. They're not ready for marriage in their head. So they just get married because that's like their time clock's running out with this shit, yeah. And they're just like getting pressured into it, and they're just married for the sake of being married, and
You
they're
know
settling.
what?
So like,
Yeah.
I don't believe that like I think everyone has their own timeline.
And
Everyone
do you
has
know
their
why
own.
they have their own timeline? Is because people invest in themselves at different times.
Yeah.
Some people party in their 20s and then they're focusing themselves later in life. Some people do it the other way around.
Yeah.
But it's, you will only know when it's like, okay, I'm feeling very secure. I've achieved these certain personal goals. And now, do you know what? I think I'm a good match for someone, and I am secure within myself that I'm not going to put unnecessary pressures on someone else.
Yeah.
But having said that, again, sometimes you find people along the way that support you, help you grow. No way in hell would I have thought I would be in a relationship at this point, because
really?
no way. I've just got this investment. My focus is my business.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to date or anything. No way. Like, I'm very, very like, no, thank you. But I found
couldn't
someone.
resist.
Actually, yeah. But no,
I found
but
someone that supports me,
supports
helps
it,
me
it's
grow,
supporting,
understands me.
and he's,
Yeah.
he's with you for the journey, man.
Yeah.
And it just happens naturally.
Yeah.
And we're both in positions where we are very secure with ourselves. So you just know when it's right. But my relationship advice would be, please focus on yourself. And that's the best thing that you could do.
I like that.
I love that.
I love that.
I think that brings
Anyway,
us nicely.
yes,
yeah.
let's
You're
go.
on my level. We're
Hey,
going
what's
to-
next?
Oh, so now it's our game that we're going to play with you.
Right, I didn't know about this.
Harper's like, I thought this was a professional business podcast.
Business chat.
The first challenge of the first game is you got to do 20 burpees. I'm joking.
No. Can you imagine? No.
No,
So
go on.
this is called Rated or Not Rated. So what we do is we have a series of like phrases or like objects or people, and you've basically got to say to us quickly, is that rated or is that not rated?
And by rated and non-rated, we mean that I like it or don't like
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Fine.
So the first one,
Sorry,
right?
not in with the. Do I like it or do I not like it?
I'm not down with all the lingo, you know? Okay,
Yeah, you've
rated
got
or
it.
non-rated.
Yeah, you've got it.
Okay, so the first one, I can't wait to see your reaction to this.
And do I have to give a description and explanation?
You can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have
We
to.
always like
You
to
can.
expand sometimes. So this one, okay, a woman paying on the first date.
Absolutely not. Not rated.
Absolutely not. I love that one.
me.
I do not like that.
I'm all about for equality and everything. And, you know, the woman, I'm sure 9 times out of 10 can pay, but I would like a gentleman to be a gentleman. Thank you.
Okay. So what would you do,
the
right,
way
if you
you
went on your first date with Akshay and he's like, yo,
He's like 50.
He would never do that. No way.
He's a
But
true
what if he
gent.
He's
did?
a proper gent.
He's a true
But what if
gent.
he did? Or not Akshay, but say, I don't know.
Let's-
what do you
let's-
say?
It
let's
wouldn't
Akshay.
actually bother me because, you know, I don't think that is something that you can, you know, sum up a person around and like, imagine if they were perfect and then they ask you to like
No,
go
but a minute
hard.
ago, he's absolutely not. You're backtracking here now. Oh, for Akshay, it's all different. Not my
I'll be
Akshay.
honest,
No.
right? If you made me pay 50-50 on the first date, I would have sacked it off. I don't care, I'm not sure. Because that just shows
Yeah.
the kind of person you are to ask for that.
Yeah.
Totally right.
It's awful.
The answer's
If that was
no.
me, if that was my sister, yeah, I always give my sister really good advice when it comes to this kind of stuff. Like,
Does she think that it's good
If you're
advice?
listening to this, you can let us know what you think. I'm only joking.
shut up, man. Don't say stupid shit. So my sister, I always give her good advice. If she went on a date and they didn't pay for the first date, I'd be like, nah, fuck that off. No
I'm
way.
sorry, but yeah, the
Like a
gent
man
should be a
needs
gent.
to do that.
If he needs to go into his overdraft, go into your overdraft. Get a loan.
Get a
Get
loan.
If
your
I'm
credit
doing
card
it,
out.
I'm doing it. Oh, I'm doing it. Fuck, you know, I'm selling my car. I'll get a bus back.
Yeah.
As long as we can pay the first date, because that
Absolutely.
just sets the
If you
precedent.
can't afford the first
However,
date, then make a
Yes.
sandwich.
I'm just going to say,
Yeah.
why are you even going on a date if you can't afford the first, second, third, fourth, fifth date? Please don't
Oh
date.
shit, she ain't stopping at the first one. She's like, fucking all of them have to be paid for.
You need to pay.
Fucking hell, fifth date, but yeah, I could manage about 3, but you know, fifth one, I might have to like
I'll be honest.
call up the bank.
On our second date, I wanted to treat him, but then our situation was different because we'd known each other for years, so it's a bit different.
No, every situation's different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the man...
No, I didn't let you pay for loads of dates, man.
Yeah, but the second one, do you remember I took you to the Cotswolds and we had that sticky toffee pudding?
Yeah.
Aww.
Okay,
Yeah, he's like,
whatever.
oh, she
See,
was really
that's nice.
nice.
I feel like the man should pay, but the woman might like buy dessert or a coffee.
Yeah,
just something
yeah.
cute at the end.
Yeah, just like a little coffee.
Just a little
A
coffee.
little coffee. I took you on a date. I get a little fucking sticky toffee pudding. Sick. You get 3-course meal. I get one little food. Anyway, next one. Moving in before marriage.
Ooh, on the fence. And the reason for that is because God, here's me going into very formal mode again.
Yeah.
Everyone's situation is so different. You know, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, I would have said no. Now it's like, well, it depends what the person's situation is. Maybe you need that time to get to know each other. Maybe your parents are really cool. Maybe your parents are really strict. So I would say, you know what? No judgment. Do what's best for you.
That's interesting because brown people are always dead
Rated.
against that.
No,
aren't they?
I'm
So
not
that's
against
rated
it.
then, yeah?
Fine, rated. Yeah, no problem.
Okay,
Keep it going.
okay, next one. Okay, this is a cool one. Cold custard.
No,
Really?
not rated.
I like cold custard.
Really, I don't like it
no,
either.
no.
So that you will never get that OCM.
You never get cold custard at OCM.
5 a.m. club.
Can you define 5 a.m. club, please?
Like waking up at 5 a.m. being like, you know, like you get these people who are part of this 5 a.m. club. Wake up in the
If you
morning,
are doing
get ahead
it-
of the day, blah, blah, blah.
Because it genuinely sets you up for the right routine, and as a person that works for your body clock, fantastic. If you're doing it because you want to put on Instagram, hi, I'm awake at 5 a.m. and I'm part of this cool club, then no, sorry. I don't care.
Wake up
I
and
love
like
that.
sleep again.
You're
I
not
love
going
that.
to make me feel any less of a person because I woke up at 5:30, you know? No,
it's true.
I'm going to say not rated. Don't create a club for the sake of a club.
That's true. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Designer shoes.
Oh, absolutely, darling.
Oh, yes. Of course.
I know that's your thing.
100%.
Isn't
I
it?
love
Talking about
shoes.
designer shoes, another one
Of
with
course.
tangent on.
Oh yeah, did I actually get you that Janjan?
Oh, it's
I'm only saying our last guest had a Janjan given by her boyfriend.
I'll put it on the list
I'm
for
in the
us.
bad books now because I haven't got a tangent 4
I
years
got no
apparently.
Janjan on my feet here.
Anyway,
Next.
designer shoes is rated. OnlyFans.
What?
She's like, oh gosh, no. Such a dramatic Indian fucking response.
Again, I'll be honest, no judgment because do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, for me, not rated, not in a million years for me personally, but I have no judgment towards whatever you got to
If
do.
someone does it else, they're rated. If they
No,
make it-
I'm
say-
not going to rate or non-rate.
Well, let's just say,
You
let's
should
just,
play the
let's just
game.
say, let's just say someone's making like £1 million a month, which is like doable. There's like 10 million pounds a month people doing it. Anyway,
shit,
so
they're that much.
£1 million a month someone's making on OnlyFans. Is that rated or not rated?
Can
Yeah.
I give my classification as well as a disclaimer?
Yes.
Go.
So, cool. If you're getting £1 million a month, honey, you go for it. You
Yeah.
okay? Disclaimer, if it still makes you happy, you're not upsetting anyone, you're cool with your family, whatever it is, you're not just do what you want.
Let's
for me,
keep it real, right?
I'm
There
very
is-
no judgment.
There
Do
is
what you
no
want.
brown person or family that's gonna rate.
Exactly,
their
so they're not
daughter or son on
rated.
OnlyFans.
But if there's a I don't know, do what you want to do.
There
I
might be
don't-
one family out there.
Bare political answers over here.
If they're part
Anyway.
of that one family or environment that it's done, fine. For me, I'm a very non-judgmental person, but if me or any of my, like, I don't know, family were to do, absolutely not, cancel that. Delete the
Cancelled.
internet. Delete the
Cancelled.
internet.
Wow.
Cancel everything.
You've been cancelled. Jeez Louise, you're getting a bit
No,
serious.
no, honestly, stuff like that doesn't faze me. Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's true. You gotta do your own thing.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
Okay, my next one, clubbing.
Oh, I'm such a grandma. No, I can't. I'm really tired.
I feel you.
I love boogieing. I love dancing.
I love
We
boogie.
should go-
This is boogie.
Fuck's sake,
I
right.
just said I'm a grandma.
No, babes,
I
you
just
say
said
kind
I'm
of
a
words,
grandma.
man.
I don't say boogie,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do say some things.
I
like
call
that.
songs
Well,
tracks as well. Is that allowed?
Huh?
Tracks.
Oh,
A
yeah,
track.
tracks is
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get taken the mick out of for
I say,
saying
Yeah.
tracks.
I say tracks all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say tunes, people say...
I would like, for my ideal evening, go for a nice, lovely cocktail, go for a lovely, nice 5-star dinner,
Paid by Akshay.
Which I'd actually, man.
and just go for a little dance at the end. Home by midnight, please. With a
You know
cup
he
of
didn't
tea.
get the investment, innit? The 250,000 investment. Which I was like sweating himself. Like, half his fucking demands, man. Jeez, Louise.
He knows what I'm like.
Okay. Vegan desserts.
Yeah. Rated.
Obviously you're going to say that. You got a fucking
All
vegan range.
desserts, rated,
We've
yeah.
got a vegan range.
We've got vegan brownies. They're
That
really
was that
good.
was Taran's choice. He was like, put on their vegan desserts and see what she says about that.
Rated, yeah?
Rated, you know, we're open to all dietary.
Let's be real though, right? We've tried some vegan stuff. It's whack, man.
I would say that a
Some of
non-vegan
it is.
dessert is usually
Taryn's even
tastier.
laughing. He's like, yo, it's
Non-vegans.
I have brought desserts for you.
Ah, yes, what have you got?
They're not
Let's go.
vegan, you'll be happy to know.
Yes. Thank you. Why good?
Do you want them now? Do you want them after the game?
We should eat. Let's try
The game's
one, yeah.
finished.
Okay, perfect.
that was
On that
Oh, that
note,
was easy.
Yeah.
I want more. I liked that game.
Are you
Dude,
like
I
it?
know, we should put some more on there.
I love
Good
games,
number.
I love competitions, I love tests.
Yeah,
I
Okay,
really do.
so
She's
you
like, do I
won.
win?
You won that one,
I win?
whatever that means. Yeah, you won.
Did I win any
yeah,
money?
Yeah, you won. Taran, does our budget stretch? Okay, no, it doesn't. Sorry. We've used the budget up on getting you here.
That's your
unfortunately.
prize
These are
there.
your very non-vegan desserts.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
Wow.
So,
a taste of happiness. Look at
Get
that.
close up on this.
I think
is
I'll
a-
move my microphone. Oh no, it's fine.
Oh yes.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, what have we got in here? Should we do it? Let's do an unboxing like all the influencers do on Instagram. So, thank you so young for sending
Whoa,
us packages.
Biscoff.
Oh my god, they're
I've seen
huge.
Biscoff straight away. It's my
He
favourite.
loved Biscoff. Oh shit, there's loads in here. There's 4. Oh my god. Okay, we've got talk us through what we've got in this
So
box.
these are my famous cookie cups.
Okay.
I created these on The Apprentice actually, and when I came out of the process, I was like, right, I need to actually.
You created them on the
Yeah, I
Apprentice.
did.
Ah.
So I've created a range, and we sell these online, so anyone can order across the UK. I think they're really cool instead of michai or anything.
Yeah.
As a gift, we did really cool Diwali boxes, but they are basically, it's like a cookie cup, so it looks like a muffin, but it's not. It's cookie.
So the whole thing is a cookie.
And it's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
different layers. So my
see that
favorite
on
is the birthday cake one, which is
This
that
one?
pink one.
Okay.
It's got jam in it. It's got white chocolate.
Ooh.
We've got the Oreo one for Oreo fans.
He's gonna want to try. We'll try some.
And then the
We'll get
Biscoff
home.
one as well. So it's got layers of the spread.
Are we eating it now?
Okay. Yeah, we're right. So try
can
them.
break my
Okay,
fast.
so right.
I don't break my fast for anyone.
I'm
you
gonna
know.
break my
Really?
fast.
I'm gonna
Taryn,
break
we'll have
it
to
for
get
you.
you.
Do you know
Taryn, come and
what?
have
They're
some of
really
this.
good.
She said the birthday one.
warmed
No?
up.
It's got the jam in it.
Taryn, come here. Just come on camera. You might as well have one with us.
No,
He doesn't want to do
He's
it.
not having it.
Okay, so
He's not having it.
what can you please explain?
It's
a cookie?
basically layers of cookie, and that one has layers of Biscoff spread. It's got the biscuit on top, and it's
Ooh.
basically really, really
Just
yummy.
eat it.
Go on, yeah, take a
Dig in.
bite.
Give it a big bite. Have you got a sweet tooth?
Yeah, massive.
Has he not? Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, I can see that. Look at that layer there, man. Can you
Do you know
see that?
what? They're really good warmed up with a cup of tea. Yeah, they're really
Will you
good.
sponsor our wedding so we can have this as Matiai?
Oh my god! Yeah, that's
my
it. Exactly. That's such a good idea. So we're actually launching our wedding range soon. I'm trying to do.
We're your first
smaller
sponsors, let's
ones.
go.
There we go. We're trying to do smaller canopy
150
ones.
boxes each.
No, I'm not even joking. That is so tasty.
That's
I
amazing.
didn't know what to expect. I've never obviously had a cookie cup.
Yeah.
But I've tried
It's
the brownies,
new, isn't
and you
it?
know I love the brownies.
Yeah.
But I actually think these are
They're
my
good.
favourites.
They're my
No,
favourite.
they're honestly my favourite.
You can't really get them from many other places either. They are really unique. So yeah, they work really well. They're a
That is
bestseller.
delicious. Really tasty. And it's not sickly.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
If you know, it's you get quite value for
Yeah,
money
flipping
out of one.
huge, yeah.
So I like to have
But
one.
you could
and then use it
easily
later.
have that and not feel sick after, because that's my only thing. You know, desserts, especially Indian desserts.
Cut the camera.
Get out the jar cup ready. We'll have our cookie cups. Harpreet, thank you so much for our cookie cups, for being our podcast guest today.
Thank you.
For sharing all
Put
your
this away.
wise words of wisdom, for being a girl boss, for representing not only for the brownies, but everybody. And we just want to hear more from you. Like, we can't wait to see what comes with the podcast.
Part 2. We're not part
Yeah.
2 with us, firstly. We want to get Akshay on.
We want to get Akshay as
We want to
well.
watch your scale up.
Yeah.
We're going to support and do all them
Go
things there.
watch Scale Up, get all the deets on Harpreet, Akshay, how they met. What else? Okay, what else can people find out in your podcast?
We talk a little bit about our businesses. So not a lot of people knew in the past what Akshay actually has his main business as, and he reveals all in the Scale Up podcast.
Carry on.
It's
So
really good.
he's launching his business very soon. It's called Tips 360. So you can go and check that out and follow that as well. So he revealed that is his main business on the podcast as well.
Oh,
I
wow.
talk a little bit about my journey. It's just a little bit of fun. People can get to know us a little bit better, and we answer a few audience questions. So
Right, with cookie in my mouth, let's
Amazing.
give it up for our guest Harpreet! Those are phenomenal.
Do you like 'em?
Like, so good. Really tasty. Thank you so much for that.